welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sean. I'm back for another video, and welcome back to another letter that was sent to me from one of you. If you're brand new to my channel, you may not know it, but I'm a life and dating coach and the author of 3 books. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. But I also upload fashion, lifestyle, and dating advice videos like this one. So if you like variety, you'll definitely enjoy my channel. So go ahead and hit that button right now, subscribe, and while you're at it, be sure to turn on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I upload a video. And if you want to submit your letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, be sure to send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. All right, so now without any further ado, let's get started with today's letter. Let's go get 'em. Hi, Miss Sean. I was writing you because I really need some advice. So I started talking to this man back in March of 2020. He messaged me on Facebook even though I've known him since high school. I had been by myself and celibate for 2 years prior. So he was saying all the right things and very consistent. I had my guards up, but he changed that. We were living in 2 different states at the time. Then eventually we hit it off strong. He was previously married for 15 years to his ex-wife and had 3 kids by her. Then he also had 2 other outside kids while still married to his wife, but one when they were separated. Oh, okay, well that makes it okay. Okay, that's cool. I mean, it's cool. I'm gonna get you. He's a truck driver and he makes decent money. He came off very arrogant at first, telling me that he had all this money and all the things that he could afford and so forth and so on. He started off buying me things and giving me money on a regular basis. He started coming around my kids and I was around his as well. Then he wanted me to move in with him, so I packed up my kids and all my things and I moved in. Everything was great until he started leaving the house without saying anything. I thought that was weird because I thought the common courtesy would be to tell your significant other where you're going. He started saying that he didn't have to. So then we had this big issue and he finally started saying I'll be back when he would leave the house instead of just not saying anything. Then he started saying that I was complaining a lot and that I always had a problem with everything. He said that he didn't care about my feelings. I felt verbally abused by him. I always threatened to leave and he didn't even care. I wanted a man that would fight for me and a man that would care if I was leaving. I hate nonchalant men. So I stayed even though I felt miserable and like he didn't care. I felt like that we were both doing these things to be spiteful, like we would both leave without saying anything, and I would do the same. I know people express themselves differently, and he had definitely expressed himself by providing for me and my children. He paid all the bills, he cooked, he cleaned. We finally went to a solo trip in September and everything was great. We talked and worked on things, but when we got back, the feelings all came back and everything went left again. I threatened to leave again and he said that he would help me find a place. Okay, he's like, if you're gonna leave, I'll help you find it. Wow. I felt like we were coming from bad places in our lives and that's what made us be this way. He said that if he felt like how I felt, he would have left, and I started crying. So I finally packed up my kids and my things and I left with no plan. When he got home, he noticed and then he texted me and said, oh, so you moved out? Where did you go? I didn't respond. So later that day, I told him I couldn't take the verbal abuse anymore and he was like, okay, and ended the call. Then he stated that I had to get to know him from a distance. 2 days later, he posted him and another girl on Snapchat all hugged up and kissing. My heart dropped to my feet. Like, how could you be so disrespectful like that when I only left 2 days ago? I just ignored his calls and his texts. I have mixed feelings right now. Why? Like, I feel bad for leaving without saying anything and I have to protect my peace. I don't know what to do. I really loved him. I never had a man take care of me and my children like that. I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't do anything right now. I'm losing weight like crazy. I always find myself checking on his Facebook and his Snapchat page every hour. I've prayed hard and I feel like right now I'm back at square one. I don't know what to do. Please read my letter, Miss Sean. Oh, I'm gonna read it. Okay. First of all, there is a lot going on in this letter, and I think that I want to start off with the fact that I hope you don't think that this man was being faithful to you any of the time that you guys were together. There is no way. 2 days after you left, he already had somebody he's already comfortable enough to be kissing on and hugging on. This man was married to a woman, stood in front of God, family, and everybody else and took vows with this woman, had 3 kids with this woman, and had not 1, but 2 outside children on his wife. Okay? And you think that that kind of man is capable of being faithful to you? I think you showed him very early on in the relationship that you were impressed by shiny things. So he tossed you a few. How is this man who you barely know buying you things and giving you money on a regular basis? He thought that he could buy you. He thought that if he paid enough money and he found the right amount that would kind of get you on his side, that he could have you cooking and cleaning and taking care of his kids. He thought he could buy you, and you let him know that he could. You were so impressed by all that he was doing for you, and he thought that if he gave you enough money, you could overlook the fact that he was cheating. You could overlook the fact that he would leave your home and not tell you that he was leaving or where he was going. He thought he paid for you. And he can't believe, he thought all you do is complain about everything. He thought he had paid enough for you not to complain. But all of a sudden, you came up with standards after you already showed him that you didn't have enough of them. And I'm not saying this to be mean or to be rude, but I am, you know me by now, I am extremely blunt. He thought he bought you. And he couldn't believe that he thought he had paid the price. He thought he had already figured out how much it would take to get what he wanted out of you. And then once he was used to paying that amount of money, you decide that you want a raise. The raise is, where you going? What you doing? Who you with? He's like, oh, no. I moved you. How did you move your kids cross country? You said you met the man in March. It's only October. So within a couple of months, you already moved in with this guy? I don't care if you know him from high school. He's still a stranger. And if this man was married to his wife for 15 years, that means you haven't seen him in at least 16 or 17. So all these years he was out off the market and you thought you knew the man? Like, people change over time. Whoever you thought you knew in high school, he's a new man now. So you essentially picked up your family and moved in with this man that you barely knew because he was giving you things, because he was providing for you, because he was giving you money. He thought that's all you wanted. And then you decide that you want to flip the script, but now you want commitment. And he's like, what? That wasn't the deal. That's the problem here. The problem here is you thought you were getting one thing and so did he. And you were both wrong about what you wanted from this relationship. He thought all you wanted was money and stability. But you're like, no, I want a faithful man. And he's like, what? I didn't know that. I would have never moved you and your kids cross country if I knew you wanted a monogamous man. He thinks monogamy is a kind of wood. This is the kind of man who always has another woman on the back burner when he's in a relationship. When he was with his wife, he had another woman and another one. And when he's with you, he has another one. She was waiting on him. She couldn't wait for you to get off the scene so that she could now be booed up with him. So she could be on Facebook and on Snapchat hugging and kissing on him. Little does she know, it won't take long before he finds another one. This man has an insatiable desire for women. The sad part is there are so many women whose standards are so low, as long as a man is financially taking care of them, they don't care what else he does. And he thought that's what he found in you. I think it's really important that you learn moving forward that that's not enough. You should have expressed that to him. You should have told that man before you uprooted yourself and your family and moved to a different state to be with this man, to make sure you guys were on the same page about what you wanted out of a relationship. You moved in with the man and then tried to get to know him, and that's backward. A man can pretend to be anything when it's a long distance relationship. But it wasn't until you were able to get to see him up close and personal when you got to see, okay, then this man thinks he can do whatever he wants to do. He's going to leave and not say anything, not tell you where he's going, being out all times of the night. Every time he left you and didn't tell you where he was going, he was with her. He was cultivating that relationship because he leaves as soon as things get tough, as soon as there is a challenge, as soon as somebody says something that he does not like, he already goes on the prowl for somebody else. And as soon as, like he said, you were always complaining and that you were always doing this and that it seemed like something was always the matter. There was always a problem. When it started getting too much for him, he started looking outside of the relationship. If he cheated on his wife so carelessly, what made you think you'd be any different? Because you knew him from high school? I think he thought he could buy you, and he was right. It's just the fact that once you got with him in person, you wanted more, and you're the one who changed the deal. If you had expressed these things to him when you guys were long distance, it wouldn't have been such a shock to him in person. If you had said, look, I'm looking for a monogamous relationship, if you had slowed things down a little bit, you uprooted everything on the word of a dude who you barely knew. Like, thankfully, all this man is doing is cheating on you. You brought your children around this man that you knew from high school. He could have been anybody. He could have been anybody. You got to be more careful with yourself, with your children, with your heart. You let this man get way too close, way too soon, all because he had money. And then at the end of the letter, you talk about how you're not sure if you'll ever find somebody who will take care of you and your kids like that again. Is that all you want? If that's your heart that you actually do have some standards and you do want a monogamous man and you do want a man who considers you before he leaves the house and who talks to you and who communicates. You know that you want more, but you are about to settle. You got this close right there. You got this close to settling. But something in you that said, I don't know about this. I don't think it's right that you can just leave and not say anything. The thing about standards are, oftentimes you don't get a do-over. Whatever standards you set in the very beginning, when you first meet a man, when you're first communicating, those are the ones that he wants you to stick to. So when your standards are low from the very beginning, and then all of a sudden you start trying to raise them up, he's like, nah, that wasn't the agreement. Your standards were here. But as you got to know him and when you moved in and when you got the kids there, then you want to start raising them. You can't do that. There are no do-overs when it comes to standards. Men will hold you to whatever it is that you said, whatever it is that you did, whatever it is that you agreed to. They will make you stick to that. So if you sleep with a man the first night you meet him and then you say, you know what, I don't really do that. He's going to be like, okay, now she playing games. If you say, I don't kiss a man on the first date, but you kiss him, he's going to be like, okay, now she playing games. Whatever it is that you say, he will make you stick to. So make sure your standards are high from the very beginning. You don't start them off low and think you're going to gradually bring them up. Because then he's going to say, you changed. You ain't the same. Like, what's up with you? He's going to be understandably frustrated because he thought you guys had a non-verbal agreement. This man walked away from a woman who he was with for 15 years, who had 3 of his kids. He walked away from her like she was nothing. And here he is doing the same thing to you and you're like, what are you shocked about? Like, he already showed you what kind of man he is. He already showed you his character. When a man shows you who he is, believe him the first time. You saw what the wife went through. What made you think that you'd be any different? He already showed you his character, the kind of man that he is. I don't care how booed up he looks, how happy this other girl looks on Facebook. She doesn't realize it yet, but she'll be you. Just like the wife was once you. Like, that's what he does. He always has the next girl lined up. He's not a commitment kind of guy. You're trying to make him into somebody that he's not. He loves women. He doesn't just want one. He wants all the women that his money can buy. And he thought you were one of them. If you want more from a man than his money, you can't be wowed by his money. You can't be impressed by his money. You have to say, I'm glad that you have money. That's great. So do I. What else do you have to offer? I shared this story before, but I definitely think it bears repeating. There was this man a long time ago. He had a pocket full of money, hundreds and fifties, and just lots and lots of money in his pocket. And he's feeling good about himself because he just had this huge business success story, right? So he's walking down the street and he sees this homeless man that comes towards him. And the homeless man comes up to him and the homeless man is like, hey man, you know, I really need $1. Like, if you have $1, I'd be so happy, I'd be so grateful if you could just give me $1. So the man says, $1? Is that really all you want? And the guy's like, yes, all I want, $1, that's it, all I need. So the businessman reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a big wad of money. There's hundreds and 50s and 20s, and he's passing all of that. Passing all the hundreds, the 50s, the 20s, the 10s, the 5s, and he pulls out one single dollar and he hands it to the man. And the homeless guy looks at the dollar and looks at the man, looks at the dollar again, looks at the man, as if to say, you got all this money and all you're gonna do is give me $1? And the businessman says, in life, you get what you ask for, so ask for what you want. You asked this man for $1, for the bare minimum, not realizing that you can ask for more because he is capable of more. Okay? You got what you asked for. So I want to say that for all of you out there who are dating and a man is giving you the bare minimum, you're getting the bare minimum out of him because it's all you're asking for. It's all you require. If you want more, ask for more. Demand more. Refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve, because he will pull past all of this. All of the treatment that he would give a woman that he actually is making him do more, he will pass all of this. All of this, the kindness, the love, the faithfulness, he'll pass all of that and just give you the one little thing that he feels that you asked for. If you don't remember anything I say in this video, remember this. In life, you get whatever it is that you ask for. So ask for what you want. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinions on life and love, consider purchasing one of my books. As I said, I've written 3. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. It's all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit a letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN@gmail.com. If you like this video, you'll love my last one, so I'll do you a favor and I'll link it for you right here, and be sure to subscribe right here. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.